Hi there, this is using Joomla. I literally got thrown into this on Tuesday, Wednesday, the same as I did this morning's session. What we were going to do with the two sessions, the one this morning and the one today, we were actually going to make it into part one and part two, installing Joomla and then making your very first basic website. But as it happens this morning, I got a little bit tied up and we kind of sidetracked into some quite some different directions, so we didn't do that. So what happened is, today we're not going to install Joomla. We're going to assume it's already been installed for you as a blank website that just comes straight from Joomla. We're going to use the Joomla stock template, as you see there in front of us. We're not going to use every part of it. We're going to use the basic parts of it. We've only got 45 minutes. We're going to use the basic part of it just to build it up. We're also not going to cover what you call the ACL system, which I know an awful lot of people want to know about. That's the new major breakthrough that's in 1.7. The reason why I'm not going to cover that is it's its own session on its own. You'll stand and cover that this morning in another session. So if you have got any weird questions about that, this is the boy here. So
just one. What is ACL?
ACL.
Is that a really obvious question?
ACL is standing for Access Control List.
Right.
And you're probably using ACL already in your Joomla 1.5 website without noticing. Because with ACL you can define the access to your website. That's one part, so you can define the view, who's able to view a menu item or a module. We all know it's the drop down with public, registered, special. That's the view. Another part is the action control. So who's able to create content, who's able to delete content, who's able to edit content. And in Joomla 1.5 it was all fixed, solid structure. You couldn't change anything to your needs. But since 1.6 you are able to define all those permissions for groups yourself. Okay. So that become more flexible, but also more complicated when you really start using it.
The ones behind now, we'll just cover really quickly, really basically. That's the user groups there. So basically, if you have, let's say, for example, if you want to use it in real life, if you owned a company where you were selling to the trade and you also had suppliers, you can make parts of the website that only showed to the trade and parts of it that only showed to suppliers. So you can really define it to lots of different people. You can also make obviously different trade levels and all sorts of things. You can do lots of things. But we're not going to cover that too much in this session because I think we'll end up going into huge directions and never get anything done. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a very, very basic website. We're going to basically make an about us page, make it a home page. That's okay. We haven't even really started. I'm just explaining what we're doing. We're going to make a home page, an about us page, a very small blog, a contact form. That's pretty much it, really. Just to see you can see the basics of how it goes together. We've got a website here. It's blank. Apart from I made a little test page there which says this is a home page, which just make sure it works before starting. We have. It's okay. I wonder where you've gone. I couldn't have got away with that easy.
I'm in the wrong place. So we sent another route.
Oh, but we're in Victoria Station now. Right. We haven't got anything. All we're doing is I've just said what we're going to do today, which is basically going to make a very, very basic website. We're going to make a home page, an about us page, a small blog, and a contact form, and that's it. That's all we're going to do. So we've got the blank website as we took it down from Joomla. I downloaded this last night. What we have, the main parts of it. Forget about these buttons in the front here in the administration section. Forget about them because every time you leave that page, those disappear. So it's better to actually learn from the menus at the top. So we're going to go to the content, to article manager. An article in Joomla is a web page. It's just named article. It's the same thing as what people usually use as a page. We've already got in here, which I just set up 20 minutes ago, a home page. The home page is just as it says. If I change that and put the word in at the end, press save, I refresh the page over here, it appears there. It's very simple, very, very simple. If we then close this for a second, save and close. I want to go to those buttons in a moment. We're going to make a new page, the very first page. We're going to call this About Us. The About Us has an alias. Now the alias, sometimes you can use it for example, if you've got a search engine friendly component. So do you know, for example, how Let's see if I'm on the internet still. It keeps on logging me off the internet all the time. It's driving me crazy. Right. Very well. No, tried it this morning, it wouldn't work. It's getting its time out.
Empower, simplify.
Catch up. Supposed to be Microsoft. Right. If I go to agenda, at the end of it there, we've got a nice search engine friendly URL at the end there. It hasn't got that horrible PHP dot blah 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 blah, the question marks and everything else in this. It's just nice, it's nice and smooth. Sometimes you can set it so it either takes that information from here or from here. So if you wanted to, you could actually have two different titles. You could have, let's say, for instance, about us, and then you could put in there about Joomla1 UK, and it would change it so the search engine would see something slightly different from what the actual page is called. There's other users for it, but that's the main ones. In here, we're going to put about Joomla1 UK 2011. That's it. We've got a category section. In the category, we've got uncategories, and we're uncategorized, and we've got a test. We'll come in a moment. I shouldn't have done it the other way around, but it'll be okay. We have 3 buttons at the top here: save, save and close, save and new. Save. If I save it, it just saves the page and stays this page. It used to be called apply before. Save and close, it will save this page and close and go back to the article manager. Save and new, it'll save the page and bring up a new page so you can start again. So if you're building a new website, you can save it and start another one, save it and start another one. So it's a lot easier. So I'm going to save this and close. We have now an article. If we refresh the page here, it's nothing there. The reason why, that in the Joomla system, the articles and the menu systems are 2 different things. Years ago, let's say in the year 2000, when CMSs were about, you used to have, every time you added an article, it would add it to the menu. And if you had, let's say, a news area, like basically, for a newspaper, you'd have lots and lots of different menu links. It was crazy. So what we do now, if they've separated the menu and the article links. So we need to make a menu link to the article so you can see the article. So we're going to go into now here.
So you have to do the article first?
Yes, make the article first. Yep. So we're going to go into the menu, or the main menu. And we could go straight onto that one if we want. We're going to go to the main menu so you can see it. But we could go straight to the add if you wanted to. And that's it there. At the moment you can see there's a home button right now, which actually came down with Joomla when we downloaded. Go to new. In here we have the menu item. We have all the different types of menu links in here. You can have, for instance, links that go to a shop if you install a shop into it. You can have links that go to forums. You can have links that go to a particular category of a forum, so you can go straight to the support area of a forum. You can have menu links going to news feeds, web links, all different parts there. And the one all we're looking at is the articles. We've got all these different sections here. We want to go to a single article for this one. Let's go. This is the menu link right to the page. So from here, we have menu link. Call it suppose. What it was? No. Just as different from the first one. Over here, select an article. We only have 2 in there at the moment, a home page and about us page. I'm going to select the about us page. It's going to pre-fill the alias when I save it, so I don't have to type anything in there at the moment. Notes, if you want to put some notes in there, so by the way, all this information, it tells you here. So if you hover over it, if you ever get stuck when you're going at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're going to get it ready by 7, you can actually hover over these and it's got all the information. Status, published, unpublished, trashed, so it's not actually gone, it's just sat there. Access, that's part of the ACL system, other parts of it, so we're not going to go into that too deep. Press save. If we refresh the home page now, about us now. Click on about us, about Joomla1. So you can see that the menu system is linked to the article. When you get your head around this, it takes a little time if you've never used it before. When you get your head around it, it's really simple, really simple, and you get used to it very quickly. So we made very quickly an About Us page. What we're going to do now is we're going to make a little blog, a little mini blog, a little news blog.
Yeah. Sorry, before you go on then, so on that page a second ago, you talked about the category section.
Yeah, well, sorry, yeah, let's go to the category section. So we'll have to do that anyway. We're going to go, there's a category manager. So at the moment I've got one category that came with the Joomla system when we downloaded it. I added a test system in just literally 10 minutes ago. We're going to make another one called blog, or news, or whatever we're going to call it. So we're going to call this blog. more sense. You could add description here. We're going to put in here. Let's say this is my blog page. Forget about the other options for the moment. You can have a little play around with them. Save and close. Go back to the article manager. Does it make sense so far? Articles manager categories. Yeah. What we're going to do now is we're going to make up a new article. I'm going to call this my first blog post. Lots of different text, which means nothing. Press save. Choose that. Add it to the category blog. We're going to then put it into save and close. It still won't be on the front page. It won't be there because obviously we've got a menu link to it. So we're going to make another menu link. So what type of menu it's going to be. Okay.
It feels like you're almost working backwards from what you would do in a classic website, a static site.
Once you get your, really, honestly, I keep saying this, but once you get your mind around it, how it looks, it really is really simple. It's very intuitive the way it works. So but it does take a little time to make it click. But once it clicks in your mind, oh my god, yeah, that's exactly how I would have made it as well.
Yeah, but he's right. You can begin from the back.
Yeah, from the bottom up.
Yeah, right,
Produce an article and then link it to the next bit and build upwards rather than.
Yes. So the thing is, if we make the menu link first, you've got nothing to link it to.
Yeah.
So you'll see. So that's why you're right. Though. You're right. I mean, what you should do really is make the category first. I just want to go straight to the articles and show you the articles. But you should really make the categories up first, then make the articles, then make the links to go to the articles, and then that's the way I would probably do it in real life if I was somewhere. Okay. The different article links we've got here. Before we click on single articles, we're going to go to a single article. We're going to go to list all the categories, which is obviously going to show all the categories. So you could have a news category, you could have a trade category, you could have different things and different pages within that. We don't want to go to there. We want to go to a category blog. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that one, and then we're going to go blog. That's about it really. There's nothing else really we need to change in here. If you wanted to, you can change it to target, so we'd open up a new window. We can have it so it's the default page, we can have it in different languages, we can have it all sorts of different things. We can even get it so it'll change different templates, all sorts of different things. We have choose a category, blog. Save. Refresh now. There's the blog. And there's my weird scribble wibble we'll put in. That's not showing the article, it's showing the blog with the article in it. So if we now go back into this again, the other problem as well, we can't see the title. So we need to go back into it again, close this. Go to the content, go to the article manager. Actually no, on the side, let's go into the menu then. We have different ways of doing things. I'm going to go to the blog post again. In here, in the menu link, what we have is we've got different ways of viewing the information. Where's it gone? We have different ways of showing things. At the moment I've got hide all titles. So for this particular area of the website, I wanted to show. So show title. And then link titles. So that's the website, those titles will be actually linked to the articles themselves. So we'll save that. Refresh. My first blog post. If I click on that, even though you don't see it, it's actually there. My first blog post. We also, if we go, close this again, jump back into the article manager again and add another blog, just so you can see what happens when you add another blog to it. Blog 2. You always have to have content. Is it still the same 1.7? I think it's the 1.5 yet. I've always had content in the article manager in there. I don't know if it's changed.
No, the content is the same.
It's the same, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, hang on. Where's it gone?
You in the article at the moment.
Yeah. There we go. And every time you add an article, it just adds to the top. So even the biggest numpty in the world, who's your client, can sit down and you say, look, all you do is just add an article, select a category, done, log back out. and they can do that quite safely. They can go into that and do that, and without messing with the website too badly. The
And for example, a new ACL system allows you to only give access to a specific category for your client, so they can only post a blog and not changing all other pages on your website.
So that's for example, if you own the BBC News website, for instance, you could have one person could look after the sports section, another person could look after the weather section, another person another one, and each one can't interfere with another person's part of it. So it's really good, really good. And that's a whole different ballgame. Okay, we've now got a blog and about us page. So we are now going to go into make a link to our contact system. At the moment, when we download it, it has no context in it at all. It's completely blank. Is there anything that's on? But what we're going to do is we're going to make a category. So, for example, you can have it say sales managers, for instance. So we're going to make a category. Sales. Save and close. Is that right? Yes. Then we're going to go back into the components again, into context, to context, not the categories, and we're going to make contact. This one here is sales manager. It'll pre-fill the alias when I save it. It's also got all the different information from this person. You can put in there a picture, obviously. You put in is the sales manager, his email address, his test.com. If you leave that blank, it won't put a form in. It'll just basically show just the address details. This one's going to be Microsoft in London and city. State. Code. Kid. Code. You can leave these blank if you wanted to. You can even actually fill them all in, but you can actually turn them on and off in different sections, so you can have it working. You can have it used to be called miscellaneous information at 1.5, so you can put in other info and press save. Let's close this down. We now need to make a menu link to that, like we did before. Go to new. I'm going to select what type of menu link it is. This goes to contacts. We have the different types of contacts here. List all contacts, so it'll just display all the contacts in a list, and you click on that contact, it'll show the come back here. What's going on? It'll display all the contacts. You just click on a name. So you would click on sales manager or director of advertising or something. We're going to go to a single contact though, just a one person. This guy here is. That's the link, isn't it? So that's contact. Contact. Which contact is it that you want to link to? You want to link to the sales manager. We'll press save. In theory, contact. Sales manager. Contact form. Other information. It's really, really simple to use. It really is. It's people overcomplicate it themselves. And also another problem with it as well. When you install Joomla, some people install all the sample content, and there is an enormous amount of content gets installed, as it shows all the different things it can do. 99% of the stuff you won't even need to use anyway. But if you install it as a blank copy and then just basically build it up yourself, it's a very simple system. Very, very simple. I've covered the basics of it. I haven't covered it all in any form whatsoever. The way to learn really with Joomla is to literally just sit down and work out what do I want to do, and then I'll find out how to do that particular way. I can sit and show you how to install components and how to add all sorts of things in it. It's very, very simple to do, but you just need to sit and play with it yourself and make mistakes and then set it up. Whenever you make a website, always, if you can, and Sam will also agree as well, make up a development site, make up a backup site, and then do things on the development site. And if it works okay as you want to, do either the same thing again on the live site or copy everything over onto it, and it should be working perfectly.
Can you see the page how it look like with all the things you entered?
Yep, there is. I've got the home page, about us page.
If you go the way of changing customers, for instance, the color of the menu is a little bit white. If you go away with customers and putting the different colors or like the CSS thing.
CSS, we'll cover that in another section. That's changing the template itself. I've used the stock system, even though it's not a very good template to initiate, but it's just a nice clean template, so we can put things in there.
You can do that.
Yeah, we can, yes.
Okay.
I mean, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to now go into modules really quickly. What time is this session?
Maybe it's nice. The contact form just shows the slider tabs.
Yep.
But one of the new features in Joomla 1.7 is also that you can decide what is the display option. You can also select for the tabbing or plain, just all text. And that's in the menu configurations.
What about the positioning of the item on the page? If you get this link, if you go to the template, you enter all the data. Can you change? For example, another menu is in vertical. You put it on horizontal and another.
We're going to go to that right now. That's the next bit I was going to go to. I'm just going to try and cover that little bit there, and then I'm going to go to modules, then pretty much open up for questions.
Okay.
So right, well, what we've done now is we've now got this set up here, and we've got a breadcrumb system here. You've all heard of breadcrumb system, haven't you? Hansel and Gretel, so you can follow your way back. So you can click on home. We've also got, forget about that, I was just playing with it in the room. We've got a login form, so you can log out if you wanted to, and it's got obviously different login forms here. You've got a little module up here, which you can turn on and off. Now, what we're going to do, there's a little bit you can do up here. You're going to add in a little extension to the end of it, a little bit of text, which is this one here, and it shows the module positions on the page.
Question mark.
It's question mark TP equals 1. Now you need to go to the template and make sure that's turned on in the template. But in general, it's that. So what you can do is if you forget where the template module, all the different modules are. For example, this one here. I know it's very difficult to see because you've got the actual menu link behind it, but it says there position -7. That's where the home page menu link is. If we go to the module manager in the website, close this. And we go to module manager. We've got, for instance, main menu, position 7, which is exactly the same as where it was over there. If we wanted to, what's this one? Position 6, this side over here. If we change this over here, you can either type it in directly, or you can choose it out of the list. It automatically recognises it from the template. Position 6, press save, and when I refresh the one without this showing. Where is that showing? Which position number is it? Which is position 6? Try 8. Is it with the wrong module on? Just move the login form, just see if that's I'll move. Save. There we go, got it moved. So it did actually move from here, moved over to here. You can get this to move anywhere you want on a page. You get to move all these different areas here. There's one up here called position 1, there's position 7, there's position whatever it says here, and you can move it about. So like you were saying, how can you move things around in different displays?
When you move them around, is that for that particular page or to go for all pages?
It's that module. So for example, if we make a custom module so you can see what a module is, a module just displays a little bit of information. It doesn't display the whole content.
Mm-hmm.
The content is this part here, that's the page. So if I, for instance, click on About Us now, it's still showing the content here, but the login form is still over here. And so is the menu over here. I've only moved the module, not the content. If I move, for example, if I close this one, you can make up a custom module. So for example, over here, we've got the different types of modules. If you install a shop, for instance, a virtual app, for example, you might add some more modules over here to do with like latest modules and featured product modules and different things. Each component you add in could actually add in more modules into this. We're going to use a custom HTML, which just basically means you can type straight to a box. We're going to call this custom, so we'll remember where it was. Select a position. We're going to position it on the top of the main menu. So that was position 7. Where's position 7 then? Oh, we missed it. Let's put another one out. Oh, there's more. There it is. Position 7. And then we've got, just going to call this here custom module. Without any. Press save. In theory, we have custom module. That's the title of the module. what we typed into the box. You can put a picture in there, you can put anything you want in there, you can type anything you want into it, and it'll just display. You can also get that to turn on and off in different pages. So if we go, for instance, into here again, so we're always still here, what we could do is, this is at the moment simply to show on all pages. If we wanted to, it show us only on the section, on the About Us page. So press apply, save. Because we're on the About Us page, it's still there.
Yeah, when you do that, can you put something on another page in the same position as well? Can you have two things stuck on top of your...
It'll go on top of it, or below it, which we'll do in a moment. I'm going to swap them over actually in a moment, that's the next one.
Just one question, you've got on there custom
Yep.
in the page.
This was a
Now, you normally, not normally, sometimes you might not want a header, you just might want some text or something.
Yep.
So but you still have to name the page though, don't you?
Name the module, but if you wanted to, I can say hide title.
I gotcha.
Press save. And then next time I say it and refresh it, it's just showing the custom module. We'll put it back on again, just for the moment, so we remember where it is.
Yeah.
And so refresh it. But we assign this to the About Us page only. If I go to the home page, that module disappears. It's not there anymore. If I go to the web page, it's not there. If I go to the About Us page, it's there. So you can get the different modules to show on different pages. You can even get to assign to either an article, a page, or you can get to assign to a menu link. So, yeah. Right, let me go back into this again. This is the order of the modules here. We've got 2 position 7s, that position there. The customs underneath the main one. If we wanted to, we could actually get this. How do you do this? Alright. There's some seats over there.
All that crap.
A bit full of you.
Not about 10 hours.
Okay, if we change the order, we can either use these little arrows, push it up and down, or we can change the numbers. If you've got lots of them, you might want to change it by actually reordering them yourself, so then you'll say that, you already want to be. And then you just press save here, this little disc, and it'll reorder it. So you've got now customs at the top, main menu underneath. So if we refresh the page over here, to the top. It really is, you can change that, so it moves around a bit more. I'm not going to go into extension installation because it's going to take too long. If you did want to install extensions, you just go into Extension Manager and choose. You download a zip file from wherever you get the extension. Press choose file, install, done. It's that simple. But I think for what we're going to do now is I imagine there's going to be a few questions, and it's going to take to what time is this session finished? Do you know? 1:30. So it gives us a quarter hour to finish. So, has anybody got any questions?
Number one. So you'd already loaded up the template. How would you put a different template in?
Into the extent, just through the template.
So that's how you load. That's how you put a template in.
Yeah, exactly. So the language files, the templates, modules, components, plugins, everything gets installed through that.
Right.
It's very simple. Very simple.
So installed through
the same extension manager here.
right.
So you just literally just choose. The same. I don't think I've got actually any.
Say you wanted to go to these 5 or something.
Yep.
How would you do that?
Swap over the templates. You just go to the template manager, and you have all the different templates here. The one you can see that there's administrator, there's the site and administrator. So that's the front end templates,
Yeah.
and that one there's the administrator templates. So for example, if we at the moment it's on stock, you can see this because it's a default start turn on. If we tick that little box there, press make default, the template I'm actually on will change. So if you want to change it back again, just press that, and where's the default now? There it is.
Do you have to open the tab? Because there is no way of previewing it, so you simply don't know what you're inserting unless you open it separately. Am I right?
Usually you've either had it made yourself or you've downloaded it from a website, and the website usually you downloaded it from will show you a preview of what you've got. That's the only way you can really see that.
If you've got let's say 1,000 template, yeah, your website is big. You put 1,000. And you have really to go and open each of the page. I remember the layout when you want to
you used to be
add another page.
Just have a look. You used to be able to hover over this.
You can go to templates because it's now divided in templates.
Oh yes,
but you have the names. They won't have the
that's what it is.
preview.
I'm in the wrong one. Fine. Yeah, that's it there.
So you can see the preview.
You can, yes.
If
If you hover and you have a larger.
This is.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's just a static image. So
Yeah.
But that's fine. At least you know the layout. You know? Or you know-
Assuming it's been built correctly, if it's been custom made by some personal developers just for that website, usually you'd have to actually create this little picture here and put it in. But to be honest, most custom developers don't bother to just make it and just put it in. So in fact, I've hardly ever worked with any custom developers that do to designers. Okay.
The other question is, so the position number you talked about, 7, 1, and moving stuff around on the template, that's dependent on the template design, is it? So
Yes,
different templates have different position numbers and everything. So if you apply a different template to an existing page, then things will jump around
That's
and with the
right.
numbers.
If you wanted to as well, you could even actually open up the Dreamweaver or whatever it is you use to edit it, and you could change it yourself. You could change the template. I mean, for instance, I was just talking to this gentleman here when we first came in. I mean, all it is literally tags within it. So basically, that's a tag for module there, for example, and that one there would, if you move it to another position within a website, within a template, it would just show that information in that part of it instead.
So is that code is open in Dreamweaver? Can you change it and go back to Joomla?
Yes.
Oh, see. Okay. So you can really redesign the template.
I've never used a stock template in my life. I've never used it from a template club. I always make my own. Always.
Quite interesting. Thank you.
And you can also preview the module positions in your template with TP.
Yes.
One
Yeah, that one that we had
Maybe
before,
nice
which
to
is that one.
Yeah.
How do you add some divs? I don't know. This is.
We'll talk about another session. I don't want to go to web development in this session. Okay. I'm sure there must be more questions now. It's still hard to pack up my time.
You've got a standard website.
Yep.
Obviously, the one thing that we're all going to want to do is change the banner or change the styling of something. Can you show us just how we would change, maybe upload the top banner from the Joomla1 to something else?
Yep. Well, the banner in this one here would be actually the template itself. So you could change it if you wanted to for your module.
Would you do that in
You could do it in Dreamweaver, do what you want, but you could.
In the code,
yeah, in the code, yes. But if you wanted to, if the designer made this correctly, they could actually make that part there into a module. So that module will just be on all the time, and then you just change the image within the module. So, for example, if I go into here, I haven't installed a separate. Usually I put in JCA editor or Joomla content editor, but on this one here, it's not installed. If we go to, let's say, the home page, and let's say we go to here. I can't remember what's in this one now. It's that long since I used this template. Oh, great. Hold on, let's see if I can see if I can find a picture. God. I get emails from my wife asking where I am. If we have, let's say, find the path for a picture. Which template am I actually using? We're using these two. Where is it? So usually in Joomla content editor, it just gives you a selection box and you just select the picture you want. So it's I haven't done it this one. Yeah, right. Okay. What's this one? That was okay. Files. That was it. Images. So because I'm also sorry.
Use the image button on the bottom of the editor.
So you can add images in here. You can add them all of this. This isn't the best editor. I would use another one. I'd use Joomla content editor to be honest with you. So press save. Press over here. Press refresh. And you got the same picture that we had. You can obviously build up the website. In this editor, I think you've got a table system as well. Yeah, you have. So if, for example, we can make a little table. No. There isn't one, is there? In Joomla Content Editor, you can also build little tables and things. It's, you know, you just have a play with. It's a bit like using Word. It's almost very similar to using Microsoft Word. You can also, if you want to, you can select text that you want and make it into bold. You can make it into different styles. In Joomla Content Editor, you can make it into different colours, different font types, and so on.
Can I ask a few questions?
Mm-hmm.
If you have, for instance, designed some logos on Fireworks, can you import them? You know,
Yep.
related. Someone asked me, I think design can ask if you can change some of the logos on the template. If you got a logo.
If the logo is a module, then you can do it through the module manager, or if it's in the article, you can. If it's not, if it's in the template itself.
What does that mean if it's a module? I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah, it's
understand.
okay. If it's basically a, right, let me see if I can show this.
Maybe the easiest one is the logo in the top. I think you mean the header of the website.
No, just
The one or-
to
You
customize.
can change the logo in the style,
just-
in the parameters, so that's
just
the
change the
easiest
font.
version, I think.
Yeah, it depends on how the template's been built.
Yeah,
That's why we can't really
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
It's a definite yes or no, because it depends. If I make a template, and Sander makes a template, and Mark makes another one,
Yeah, it's different.
it will be different.
How do you know which one can be customized?
Wherever you download it from, we'll have a detailed description of how it was built, where the module positions are. We'll have a lot of information. For example, the Joomla1 and Rocket themes, and there's lots of different template clubs out there, and they show a lot of information.
Where do you get that information in the coding?
You get it. You usually get it when you download it with the PDF, and sometimes on the website. But that's a different. I don't really want to go too much into depth of how to design and develop.
No,
the
I'm
templates.
thinking about my question is about how it can be used, not how it could be done. Because
Yeah.
you see, if
That's
you,
what I mean. You see, there's different ways of it happening. If it was part of the template itself when it was produced,
Okay.
and if it's fixed part of it, like part of the code itself,
Okay.
then it can't be changed within the Joomla system itself.
Has to be on the code.
It has been as in a module, or it has to be something else. I mean, this could have been quite easily built with a module in there, but I don't think they have. I think they built it as part of the actual template.
Okay.
So if it was a module, then you could even turn that banner on and off in the same way we did a custom module on the side over here. So that's probably the best description I can give.
Is there an official place to get templates from? That
There's no-
way
there's
we
no-
know that those templates are at least up to a minimum standard.
Not really, no, not really. The Joomla extension directory is turning a bit like the App Store from Apple, where you can basically download things and people can review them. I don't think at the moment they've got templates in there yet. I imagine probably one day they will. And what you can do if all the other extensions are on there, and you can see the reviews from other people. So if they all come back as 5-star ratings, they're all fantastic. You know, download it, you can have no problems. If they come back with like 2.5, 3-star ratings, it downloaded, but there's a few bugs, then you might have to do some work on it. But in general, with the very reputable companies like, for example, Joomla and Rocket themes, U themes, there's quite a few actually. There's dozens of them. You could, you can see that you can kind of expect that they're going to be pretty safe. Right?
Also, if you've been learning Joomla 5, 1.5 or 1.6, is it more or less the same? Is it
Very, very similar. I think when we made the Joomla Day website,
Yeah.
the only thing we really noticed was a massive difference was the headers in the top where the meta tags and things are. In general, most of the things are pretty much the same. But when you're making a template, like I said, we're going to go into tangibly, but when we're making a template, just basically open up a standard template that you get with a stock system, and just copy and paste the module positions and the components, and you end up, it's usually quite right.
Can you put a complete background, like image, behind it?
Anything you want. You can, however you want to make it in HTML, you can make it. There's some really advanced, incredible templates out there. The best way, we made one template where the module position, instead of it showing text on here, we actually had it so you could change information to change the backgrounds and different things within the template. You can do literally almost anything you want. There's probably nothing at all that our clients have ever asked us to do that we couldn't do.
What would be the average price for templates, which are very good, if they are not free?
For a private company or for it to be custom made?
To be honest, I don't
If it's a
know.
stock system from Template Monster or U theme, something like
The
that.
one which are being charged for, what is the average price for?
If it's a custom template, there's no answer for that. It's just however long it takes the designer to make it what he charges them.
So it range up to £100?
£1,000, £2,000.
Really?
Yeah, whatever.
Even more.
Yeah, whatever the designer's charging you.
But
you don't get any good guarantee for, if something's wrong, you have no remedy.
You've got a courtroom.
So you compare them to situations.
If you go to a template club, you can pay £50 for the template, or sometimes you can pay, usually the clubs, that's what they call themselves.
Okay.
So you join the club and then you get access to all of their templates. So you may get access to a certain area of it.
Okay.
And then you can download all the templates and use them as you wish. And whilst you're a member of that club, you get updates. If you find any bugs or any problems with it, they might send you an email saying there's been a bug with this template. You can download
So
it.
it's better to subscribe with one.
There's no answer for that. It's like saying what's the best car or what's the best. There's no best template club. It's just whatever design that they've got that'll match your client.
Okay.
If somebody comes here as a charity, for example, and says, "Look, I want a template that looks like this," and you've got a template club that has that, even if it's not your preferred one, that's the choice you have.
In a short time, Joomla will also launch a new Joomla templates directory.
Okay.
So that's similar like Joomla Exchange directory with just templates, and then you maybe easier to find your templates you need and see what other users are thinking about it.
There's a lot of talk of them trying to monetize the JED system and for Joomla to make money, because there's actually very little money made in Joomla.org, the actual the system. So one of the ways that we're looking into it is to basically make like an app store, basically, so you can go into it and you can download extensions and they can take a small cut of that as well. But what would happen is at the moment you've already got in this system here the extension manager. See if this is actually got anything that's out of date. When you can basically go to update. Everything's up to date at the moment, so I only downloaded it last night or something. So you could actually select the different, if they're correctly set up with Joomla and all set up correctly, you could actually tick down here, press update, and it'll update that component. It's all very automated, exactly the same as using an Android phone or an iPhone or whatever it's going to be. It just works automatically. We produced quite an extensive system called Joomla Site Monitor, which does all of that as well, and it also checks everything, and there's a big security system in the background. And then Joomla made it themselves. So we invested huge lots of money into it as well. But it's I don't think there's anything at all that we net that's out of date. No, nothing at all. Okay. Anything else?
How many template clubs are you with, or is it worth joining on average? Obviously,
I'm part of one because they've got some extensions that I use.
Which one is it? We want to join the club.
I don't actually
You'd be separate to join the one,
I don't actually use a template, so I always make my own templates when I use them. So I don't. That's just my personal. I feel a bit of a fraud to be honest with you, pretending to be a web designer and then downloading someone else's website and then sell it to somebody else. So I make my own templates and sell them. And I would hate to somebody pay me £1,000 or £2,000 or something pounds and then go, actually I've just found that template. The template could cost you 50 quid. Why do you charge me £1,000? I find that a bit.
Yeah, well, you can always adjust it. They won't even know.
Yeah, you can, but in general, I've had it before where somebody's come to me and then they say, "What do you think?" And then I've had to give an honest answer, and I said, "Well, actually, it's just a template from Template Monster." Or how long did it take you to change? 3 hours, 4 hours.
What do you use to do your template?
Myself, I do.
Which software?
A Dreamweaver.
And Fireworks?
Illustrator.
Okay.
You have to know PHP to do a template, right?
Not really,
No.
not really. Just copy and paste tags in general, and you'll learn as you go along. And you'll make mistakes.
No, you don't.
But
You need no PHP. No.
Yeah, it's,
Even HTML, not important.
well, HTML is
A little bit because you need to sometimes intervene in the code base.
no, because actually there's a lot of CSS involved in this, so you need to know CSS in quite detail actually. Because when, for instance, when you make it, the menus, for example, will actually be controlled, but you can't. That uses the CSS that's generated by Joomla. So you need to do that. There's actually tomorrow's an open session day, and one of the things I was thinking of doing is making a tips and tricks session. So we're going to show you little things that we found, a bit of a hint how to find the CSS that you need to use to produce it. You can do it in Dreamweaver, you can do it in Fireworks, the Firefox, for instance. All different ways of doing it to find the CSS.
If you design your own template, what is the benefit of using this one? What do you call it again?
Dreamweaver.
So no,
Joomla?
Yeah. What? Yeah, it's very important. If you design your template, because that's the heck of a job to do it.
Because your clients can't control that. They can't. You can get a website where, for instance, on this one here, you could let's say let me show you a live site. What can I show you? This was like, I made this just a couple of days ago. And this website here, it's got, for example, this is a module down here. I can change that to anywhere I want. There's another module over here. So if I wanted to, for instance, I can get that's displayed on every page. But if I wanted to, I could get that to turn off on certain pages. Very easily. So you could have 10,000 pages on here at the BBC website.
So your design, that will happen even if the template came from yourself?
Yeah, I make it as I want it.
But you can adjust it to the Joomla system if you made your own template, not the one which has been imported or downloaded.
If I make a template, it's the same as Joomla making a template. It's just how I design it.
Okay.
But what I mean is if you, for instance, if I wanted this gallery to be shown on every single page, you know, that I can. But if I wanted to, I can actually make it show different pictures. For instance, if I was going to go to the nighttime menu, I could get just the nighttime menu pictures on there. If it's going to be the daytime menu, I could show just the daytime pictures on there to be representative of the page you're on. And there was obviously people that are going to search for it on Google and land on a page. They don't want to start seeing nighttime photos. They're going to book an event. They want to see what it looks like as an event.
It's a styling issue, really, isn't it? Joomla itself allows the customer to upload it.
Yeah, it helps hugely. Even for my own personal sites, I use Joomla because it just allows it gives you so much freedom to do the things that you can do in Joomla. I'll show you an example. I'll show you another example. This website I made in 1998, I think it was, and not this one. This one was another one. This is my photography site, and then on internet. This website here. It's got thousands of pages in it. It's all built in HTML, built in frames. It's terrible. It's really, really bad. And we decided to rebuild it again, and we actually took it off the line because it was so much hassle. If I go into pubs, every single page is individual, and if anything changes, you have to change every single page within it. And it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare to update. And this is made with frames and iframes and all sorts to try and get the same effect. And if I wanted to, for instance, change this menu, it was just made in a frame. If I wanted to change the menu normally, I'd have to go into it and change every single menu if I wanted to add a new link, for instance. And it's crazy work. You wouldn't want to do that. In Joomla, done. It's literally a 20-second job. So I would advise to use a CMS for everything you're doing, not just for clients, but for yourself.
So do you use Dreamweaver just basically for templates now?
I use Dreamweaver for when I'm making anything to do with code, including components or anything at all. There's other software I use as well to match in with this, but that's a different story.
So you can't really get rid of Dreamweaver altogether. You can't say,
no,
forget about Dreamweaver altogether.
You need to know the basics. You need to know the basics of HTML and CSS. It's something that you need to sit down and learn yourself. There's loads of, go to w3skills.com or .org or something like it's called. They've got some great tutorials in there, really good.
Adobe TV is
Sorry?
Adobe TV.
Right.
There's no
Site
video
points
there.
as well, isn't it?
Sorry?
Site point.
Yeah, there's loads of them. Yeah, there's loads of them. So I mean, even in Joomla, unless you're an administrator, which really should be less than probably should be another one really. If you're an administrator, which is basically the Doom Cafe, for example, that was on there before. She looks after her own website. She never built it, she never made it. She just goes into the admin part of it, changes the menu and changes the opening times and signs back out again. She just needs to know how to do the administration of it. She's never going to do the HTML, the CSS, or anything at all. If you're developing the website, you need to know CSS and HTML.
Do you know, apart from lynda.com, because I think what the videos they've got are limited for June, do you know any other sites that have loads of videos that you can...
Is it open source training or voice training or something?
YouTube. You get
tutorials? Yeah,
there is a site which I think is it's a Uta something education.
There's quite a lot of tutorials on YouTube. You have to be careful what you're watching because they could be made by anybody. There's just somebody that doesn't even know he's doing himself and he's just telling other people the mistakes. So if you've got like OSTraining.com, I think they're sponsoring this event actually. They're quite good, I believe. There's lots of information on the internet. There really is. There's bags of this.
When you started, you downloaded Joomla with no content.
when you install,
You can bring down loads of content, can't you, as a whole?
when you install it as standard, there's mountains of content in there. That's what scares everybody about it. Everybody that goes into downloads it, there's a tab that says install sample content. You tab it and you press next. If you tab it and you press next, when you actually get the site, it's just swamped with information. You got, I think it's about 10 menus in there, and there's like 20 or 30 pages, and they're all just full of junk. And advertising obviously Joomla, but it's just for what you need. It's junk. You have to spend an hour going through it, deleting them all out. And to be honest with you, it scares people. You open it up and you see all this stuff, and oh my god, it's going to be so complicated. And actually, what I've just done there is going to make you. What I've just done there is basically what I did for this cafe site. You don't need to know. You don't need to do a lot to make a nice website. If you're going to make something that's got e-commerce and forums and blogs and community systems and Facebook type things and all sorts in it.
What you've just done is the easiest. Is the easy bit.
Yes.
The next bit really is, I think John over there was saying, you want to start adding some style of your own.
Amazing. I didn't want to go into that in this session because if I go into it, because it's a kind of worms. It's also endless.
No, you don't have to go through.
No.
Tell us if it's feasible.
Everything's feasible.
Yeah.
Literally every single thing is feasible in Joomla. Everything. We've made account systems, financial account systems, Sage and all sorts of things. We've done also the stuff we're doing. There's a lot of things we've done as offline stuff, and it's just sat running locally on a server, and it does some really crazy stuff. The Joomla site monitor that we've got, that downloads, backs up other people's websites, runs on Joomla.
Okay.
And don't start creating your own template entirely, but start firstly with simply changing the colors on your website.
Yeah.
CSS, changing some images.
Okay.
So then you're growing your knowledge about it, and then you can build your own template.
And then you can see how other people have done it, and say, oh, that's why they've done that there.
I'm trying to design a petition page. I need things which can show, for example, how many people sign it. I need a place where people who give feedback for me to, first of all, authorize for feedback. Can I do that on this?
You can do that if you've got the right component to do that. You need to download a component from somebody that produces one or pay for one to be developed, which won't be cheap. And then what you can do is you can add it in and produce one. I mean, that's the sort of thing that we get. People are phoning up and say, look, we've got a feedback form. We're going to have to make up a feedback form for Joomla Day. And we're going to ask people to basically fill it in. You'll all get an email probably about a week's time saying, can you please give some feedback and say how amazing the session was. and then you can fill it in, and we'll get that feedback back. So we can look through them next year when we do it and say, look, where did we go wrong? What did we do? Who did we sack? and work up from there.
So you won't be here next year, Before you do it, I'm not suggesting you go for it now. If one is doing the styling, do you do the styling direct in the CSS, or do you use like the Joomla control administrator area?
You can actually use them both. In the template in here, let's see if I can find it. Template manager. Let's say choose this one here, was the template that we're actually using now. I think. There it is. It's it style, isn't it? Let's move it on a bit.
It's next to that,
Is it that one? Yes. Nope, hang on. Where am I up? Is it that one now? Yeah, that is. You can actually go into it and change the CSS yourself. There's that. There's I think there's there used to be a HTML editor there as well. I mean, it's still there.
You just have to know which bit's applying to which area.
There it is, edit main picture.
Now, what's a really powerful tool, and it's more the templating stuff, but it's called Firebug, and that's an extension for Firefox, and then you can see which file you need to change the color code to change the colors of your website. And that's really powerful tool to start learning CSS, HTML, how is your website built. So download that, use that with clicking on your website, change the value numbers, and then you see the changes directly. So
there's also, if you're using Safari, for example, you can also, if I right click on here, and it's not showing on here.
Use source code?
No, it's not that. You can actually do a thing that I think it's turned off in the settings. Actually, there's a thing you can do is develop a settings, and you can actually do a. Let me see if I can find it quickly. It's in advances. So I've got to turn it on the computer. I don't use it for this bit here.
Show develop menu.
Yeah. Where was it? Somebody shows it out there.
Show develop menu. Is it? We're trying to get to.
Yeah, developer menu. Yeah.
Yeah, go back in that preference. It was just the bottom of that.
Was it?
Right.
Okay.
On the bottom.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I think right click on it says inspect. and I just inspect element, and it'll actually show you what CSS, what code creates that word bees or what was I clicked on, and you can see if you have two screens, which if you develop it's a pretty good idea to get two screens.
What's it called? What's that? Safari.
Safari, yeah. It's what comes with standard with Apple, but you can get it from Windows as well.
The other good one is to download Firefox on Firefox.
That's really similar.
Yeah, very, very similar. Yeah, very similar. There's another one by Chris. Chris something. If you put in Firefox CSS toolbar, there's another one. But it's really good.
Can you do the other way around? It means if you go to Joomla template, you get, for instance, the code of the search tool. Can you copy that and put it in
you can do anything you want. And I really don't want to get into the session about how to create templates and create CSS, but it's something that's we're not really here for this session, and we're running over by 10 minutes already. So I need to. So I'll move away from it. You can ask tomorrow though. We'll sit down together and go through different things of what you can and can't do tomorrow.
Can I ask two more simple questions?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
In terms of compatibility with like the different browsers and old browsers and stuff like that, what determines that? Is it the templates or is it the modules?
It's the exported HTML and CSS.
Yeah.
So for example, if you've got, for instance, Internet Explorer 6 is terrible, it's got bugs all over it.
Yeah.
And it doubles the right-hand margins, all sorts of things. And if you've got modules that are basically exporting div tags and CSS and other parts of it, it could throw problems. But it's not actually the components that's a problem, it's usually the exported code, the HTML.
So that would come from either a module or a template?
Yes, but there's ways of searching and finding out that.
So you'd have to read up about the module and the template to know whether it's compatible?
Your website is built out of all blocks. You have the template with code, you have the modules with code, you have your component with code, and that's all combining your output of your source code.
Yeah, so each time you add a module or a template, you need to make sure that is compatible with whatever you want it to be.
How do you do that? How do you know it's compatible?
Yeah, well, you don't really, but in general, if somebody knows what they're doing, if somebody's competent in producing modules and components, in general, it will be made compatible with the mainstream.
But the problem is you don't know, yet you said anybody can go and put things on YouTube. So
anybody look at it in IE6 or you look at it in IE7. You look at it in...
What is IE7?
Internet Explorer 6 or Internet Explorer 7, you'd actually look at your website in each of those browsers to make sure of compatibility.
But that would be too late because that would mess up your site anyway. By the time you found out.
You can get back to something,
Too late.
You can uninstall modules.
Okay.
You can unpublish them.
You spend 2 weeks of your time.
The one thing we have to also remember as well is I think it's in January, February next year, Internet Explorer 10 that comes out, it works with HTML5, and it's supposed to be the bee's knees, it's supposed to be brilliant. And like every other Microsoft browsers come out, and basically what happens though is banning all plugins from Internet Explorer 10. So it's basically all the people that complain about Apple phones and iPods and iPads and everything else, when you're browsing stuff you can't see Flash, or you won't be able to see QuickTime, you won't be able to see Java, you won't be able to see anything at all on it. And the reason why is because most of these things can be seen in HTML5, they can be done in HTML5, which means that most websites will be geared up towards that because all Apple phones and Apple computers and Apple everything is basically geared up for that. And then Internet Explorer, which pretty much everybody that's new is going to be geared up for that. So all websites are going to be designed for that sort of setup. What that means though is it means that it's the people that are using Internet Explorer 5, like my client is, literally, you've got, it has to update. It's going to get to the point where they're going to force people to update because these browsers are so out of date. You've got so many security flaws and so many different problems with them. And it's causing major headaches for all developers and designers in this room because you have to make a template work with Internet Explorer 5 to 10, Firefox 2 to 5 or 6 or whatever it is.
Mobile.
Yeah, Opal and Chrome and all the different ones. And now it's going to get to the point where there's going to be a standardised system where HTML5 will just come out.
Coffee machine.
iPad.
Because HTML5 can do it without uploading. So there's no point in
What's going to get Flash?
Flash.
Flash.
Because HTML5 can do the Flash stuff without having plugins. There's no point in making something that requires a third party.
I'm learning Flash right now, so I'm wasting my time. I'm learning Flash right now, so I'm wasting my time.
Yeah, I wanted to buy it. £800.
The second question was, I've read that it's not good to use a script to install Joomla because they said it's really slow.
Chris is actually going to talk about it later today anyway.
But there's other ones called Fantastical. I'm not going to try and push you down. It's really good. But there's other ones called Fantastical. There's another one they are quite good. I mean, the problem is if you change Joomla and then you press update, it updates all the top of the changes you've done. And I think in yours, I'm just going to go through it in detail, but I think in yours you can select and see files that's basically been changed and modified, kind of.
So all
not at the moment, but that will be coming. But the vast majority of users don't update the Joomla code itself. They just mess around with their own templates. And if you update it with a script, then it's not going to change your templates.
As long as
it's just going to update Joomla itself.
The Joomla template system's got overrides within it, template overrides. So you can change the way modules are displayed, change the way that content's displayed, change the way all sorts of things are shown, which means that you don't need to change or modify the core code itself. So it means when you update it, you won't ever override anything you've changed, anything in the past. It's actually overridden templates.
Can I ask you a question?
So is it easier to, would you recommend installing it manually or not? Because obviously there's different, whatever script.
I've never used the automatic install in my life.
Because it depends on what.
I can't be bothered installing it manually now because there's no reason anymore.
Yeah, but that's with your.
Yeah, but most hosting providers will give you an automated way to do it.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not editing the core Joomla code, then there's no issue with using it. There's no problem.
Yeah.
So don't edit B's directly. Copy it before.
Okay. Is there any possibility to move from one system to another and back forth, because that will speed up your process of modifying, customizing. It means that you have a template from whatever, yeah.
Well, like WordPress.
Yeah, you download something, put it in Joomla, then you put it back in Dreamweaver, you play with it, you put it back in Joomla, you play with it, you put it back, you play with it, you put it back, you do it 10 times, you've done something special. Can you do that? Can you have that?
As long as the files that you want are on the server in the template directly, then that's.
Can you have that portability? Go back and forth.
Yeah, you just download it, change it, and upload it back again.
Then again.
The syncing component.
Oh, yeah, you can do something like that.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we do. I'm not developing them. You saw that in where's it gone?